farmer, friend, singer-songwriter, Lyal Strickland.
And that's farmer, friend, and jack of all trades, Chris Horn.
And we're those Tastebud guys.
Do you have any discussions that we've had over you coming on the show and us talking over you?
8.
I mean, I think we talk over almost
9.
every single time he gets on.
Almost
10.
like right now. We just keep talking.
Mama,
Like
take
keep talking.
this bag from me, 'cause I can't use it anymore. It's getting too dark to see. Feels like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Should I continue?
Today we have Axl Rose on the show.
Should I go? Yeah.
Or is that Bob Dylan?
Both. I mean,
both.
Well, that was my Axl Rose impression.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Is that Axl Rose when he was young, or is that Axl Rose when he's trying to sing for AC/DC?
I don't know. Is Axl Rose? No, definitely not AC/DC. No.
Yeah, thank God, man.
No. But why are we singing that?
That's what I was going to ask. And why do we have 2 bottles on there when I was told he's having 1?
I know why we have 1 bottle on the
All right.
counter. I'm not,
Well,
We're not running this show today. Tyler is.
and clearly, I only own 1 shirt.
I know. I changed.
Okay. This is Heaven's Door Double Barrel Whiskey by Bob Dylan.
okay.
Also, he collabed with the co-founder of Angel's Envy.
I thought Heaven's Doors was the ones that had the Kool-Aid that killed everybody.
You're thinking, ooh, is Heaven's Gate?
That's what you're thinking of.
There's not going to be no spaceship coming down here and take us.
His first name is Mark. I don't know his last name, but he's the co-founder of Angel's Envy, and he collabed with Bob Dylan on some double barrel whiskey. They have a Kentucky bourbon and a double barrel, so this is the double barrel we have today.
Okay.
The artwork that you see on the bottle was actually done by Bob Dylan himself.
So I knew that Dylan was an artist in terms of after I think he got in like a motorcycle wreck like years ago and took up painting as sort of a release of his creative endeavors. So I've actually never taken the time to look at any of his artwork, but
We might
I know
leave this.
you like Dylan a lot.
I love
this
Dylan.
Thing. Now, I will say,
Yes.
if this happens to be as good as Angel's Envy, this is going to be some good stuff.
I'll give you one better. If this happens to be as good as Bob Dylan's songs,
I thought you were going to say Bob Dylan's voice, and I
That
was gonna
somebody else
disagree
sings, right?
with it. Yeah.
yes,
That somebody else sings.
I like his voice.
Okay,
but I
now-
get it. It's an acquired
a thing.
taste.
It's a thing.
At the, it is worth mentioning, at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition, this did take the gold medal in 2018.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So I'm not going to pour because I tend to pour heavy, and Chris complains about it.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh. Okay, paper covers rock. You got it. Looks like you're the pour.
Man!
There's a reason we do a show together.
And I knew you would do rock next because that was what I was going to do.
Every
So I was like,
time,
no, I'll go paper. That has to be the right thing, right?
every time that I pour, I tend to pour a big pour, and Chris complains
It's
about
a
it.
weird,
so-
it's a weird pour. I will say.
I don't know why he complains about a heavy pour, but
Because I don't get the heavy pour. I get the one that's got a third of an ounce in it.
that's fair. That's fair.
No, well, here you can put that back on your shelf there. That's a donation.
All right, a donor bottle.
Donor bottle. Not loaner, donor.
You guys keep doing this show. You'll need organ donors.
Oh,
as well.
speaking of, like, subscribe,
Just
add us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok.
Chris is
No, do not
Chris is
add-
diving.
There
Chris
is
is
no-
diving in the TikTok.
There is no TikTok account. Do not look for us on TikTok. We're not on TikTok.
Are you guys on
Twitter? But we are.
Are you guys on Twitter?
On Patreon.
Are you guys on Twitter?
I have
so.
no idea.
We're definitely on Patreon.
We have a Twitter account.
Patreon. What's the Patreon?
Patreon is something that will really, really help us out. Here's the thing. It's a subscription thing. There's multiple levels. There's a $4 level, a $14 level, a $25 level. If you want something extra special, like mowing your neighbor's yard, there's probably another level for that at some point.
I don't know if we're set up for it, but I know you can set up to make just like one-time donations as well.
That'd be nice.
So, anything helps. Guys, we're not begging for money. We're not trying to become rich or anything like that. Oh, it'd be great if we was.
No, you don't.
That's not the point. We are actually just trying to look
We'd
for a
show
little
off
help
our fancy clothes.
Yeah, we'll show you what we got all of our...
But for $25, Chris and Lyal will personally wrap your knickknacks in bubble paper.
What knickknacks?
If they're moving or something?
I mean,
Who knows?
All right. Anyhow, we'd appreciate your support. Thank you.
Let's talk about Bob Dylan's whiskey. I'm excited for this.
What do you guys get on the nose?
Bourbon.
Yes.
Now, the reviews that I saw, and Chris and I kind of talked about it off camera, was that the reviews say it's pretty basic. I mean, there's nothing really that stands out as far as from any other double barrel whiskey. It's pretty basic.
So when you say double barrel,
Grab your glass over, Lyal. Just out of curiosity, pour a bit of, I think Bonded's probably the most basic.
well, we don't have bonded. This is our.
We don't have
Infinity
Bonded.
bottle.
That's our Infinity bottle.
Evan.
Yeah,
Make it
yeah.
well,
No, Evan. We haven't cracked the makers, but we need to. Let's pour that. I think that's probably one of the most basic bourbons we've got.
Speaking of Maker's Mark, this company is out of Chicago, who also make Maker's Mark as well.
That is correct.
Yes.
Yeah,
So-
I think you're probably right. And no, this is
Just
not
give it a splash. Mostly I want to compare the nose, and because again, I watched some reviews on this before I knew Tyler was bringing it on, and all I heard was it's very down the road, middle of the road, basic,
which is
bourbon.
an odd thing.
Not a bad thing. No, it's not a bad thing to say. It just nothing stands out. Oh, that's not even close. You had something else in that glass.
Well,
Holy crap! You had that Nuestra in that glass. Put that in something else. That can't work.
I need a new glass. If you've ever
Yeah.
had Nuestra Mezcal, this stuff is very pungent.
We're going off the rails here.
Oh yeah, this is off the rails. I'm sorry. There is no. Watch the Nuestra episode. It's up here. It's basically diesel fuel.
We've gotten a worse opinion of it as we've gone along.
I think it has gotten worse. All right, now let's go. Heaven's Door. All right, see what you think.
Well, so this is 100 proof, which likens
What's
it
Evan Williams?
just 80.
80.
All right, the Heaven's Door is definitely more potent on the nose.
Yep, that's what I got.
For sure.
See, I would like this more to the Four Roses single barrel. At 100 proof, that's going to have a fairly pungent nose to it, right?
Okay, yeah, and that's what I'm finding on the nose is that smells way cleaner than what this is. Now, that's not necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. It just
Now, taste-wise.
is. This has got a bigger cherry note in the nose as well.
So a lot of burn.
Oh, I don't find that traditional.
No, No, that's like a good...
I think that cherry follows right through on it.
I'd say it was a good single barrel, except that it's a double barrel, which I'm curious to know what that means. Let's find out.
You know, what's the difference between double barrel and double oaked?
So it's
Read to us, Lyal. Bedtime.
comprised of a unique blend of 3 different whiskeys. Our double barrel finishing process utilizes hand-toasted New American oak barrels for a secondary aging worthy of another year's wait. Double barrel's higher proof balances perfectly with the complexity of its flavors and notes of caramel, oak, citrus, and spice. I don't get any citrus off that, hardly. Maybe a hint of a lemon. Like a very hint of lemon.
you'd have had to tell me it was there. I don't think it's there.
Now, price point,
And what did this run?
$49.99.
Okay.
Now this is for the double barrel. The straight Kentucky bourbon was $47.
You know what I'd like to put this up against?
Spice, cherry, leather, a little bit of nut of some kind. I don't know what. Something. It's not walnut. There's something in there.
What do you guys get? What do you get on the back end? Just as it dissipates.
And I know that's the same notes most bourbons give you.
A lot of heat.
I want to
It
focus
is
on
hot.
that spice. It's not a hot spice. There is a spice in there that is just a little bit special.
I don't think this is middle of the road at all.
Let's try that Evan Williams. Because that's what I kept hearing was it was middle of the road, and I don't see that, like you say. Unless someone else's middle of the road's a lot higher
I think.
quality. I thought we liked Evan Williams.
I mean,
Not
but not
compared
compared
to
to that. No, not compared to that. Yeah, see?
right?
Wow.
No, okay.
Not compared to that.
What I really
That's a 50 versus 20.
well, absolutely.
That's
Here's
really
what I
something
really
different.
wish we had on the show right now. Like I said, maybe the Four Roses single barrel might hold a candle to
I think
this.
you might be right.
You have any of that here?
We
No,
do.
we got original.
No, it's right there.
Oh.
Grab a glass. We'll make it a long episode. But here's what I really wish we had was the Jim
Grab the
Beam.
water. We're out of glasses.
Jim Beam Double Oak.
I looked for it today. I cannot find it locally.
I think that what's there a squeaky noise?
I took a cork out of it.
I think that might be in the same flavor profile as this. This is pretty damn good though. $50 a
Yes,
bottle.
I threw that in the floor. But if you've seen our floors, you would go, that makes sense.
So let me ask you:
Yeah.
does it compare to Bob Dylan's songwriting? You're a fan of Bob Dylan's writing.
I am a huge Bob Dylan
Is that
fan,
does Whiskey fall in line with that?
I wish we put this in the same glass. It's a little bit misleading.
So how would a dab of water?
The Bob Dylan's way oakier.
How would a dab of water do to this?
I don't know. So the Bob Dylan seems way woodier, way oakier than what
Oh yeah.
that one is. But then again, tighter glass, so I don't know.
I think I still like the Heaven's Door better, taste wise. I'm with you on the more oaky for sure.
it is very so Dylan's whiskey is much more heavily oaked than the Four Roses single barrel, but they're in the
But it's
same.
a double barrel.
Yeah, they're in the same category. This is actually quite nice.
So
I like that.
verdict,
Yeah.
$49.99. Would you have this on your shelf?
You're not wrong.
What?
Those are extremely similar,
Right?
except for the nose. The nose on this is incredibly more oaky.
Oh, yeah.
Way more than I thought it was. I don't think it's double oak strong. I don't think we're quite to that level.
Yeah.
But maybe. If we'd have cracked that Woodford double oak, I'd be curious what it was like, but that's a later episode, so stay tuned.
Very true. All in all, I think that's a fairly decent whiskey. $50. I wish it was 40, but 50. Yeah,
Would you have that on your shelf?
Yeah.
Okay, it's really good, but I think I'm with Lyal. I think I'm kind of hung up on the price point because there are other whiskeys that do the same thing
Yeah.
and fit the same profile for less money. It's a cool ass bottle though.
It's cool.
Which also,
and it's a cool
so if
story.
we're talking about my personal shelf, putting it
Yeah.
up there. Maybe I give the extra $20 or $30 for this bottle because it looks better than Jim Beam Double Oak does,
Yeah, that's fair.
But now on the topic of the celebrity
or
liquors,
even that Woodford Reserve for that matter.
on the topic of celebrity liquors, I know we talk about sometimes, is it a vanity project or is this an actual investment, you think? I mean,
It's a solid whiskey.
I suspect Dylan likes whiskey. My guess is he's invested in this.
Here's hoping. It's a damn good whiskey. There's nothing
is
to
good.
complain about it. There's
Absolutely, 100% agree with that.
Listen, I would buy at least one bottle, without a doubt.
Well, good news, you don't have to, because that's going on your shelf.
Hey, thank you for the donor bottle.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, until next time.
Whether it be the Bob Dylan songs that you're singing.
You took my line. I was going to say something like
Yeah, now whose turn is it to get messed up? Now what are you going to say?
The food you're eating.
the Tyler you're talking over, because we let him talk this episode.
We did.
Or the people you're meeting.
Grab a buddy and try something new.